Hi folks, it's John Nizman from lastchanceautostore.com. We're standing underneath and behind this 59 Corvette. So we've just done the final touches on this 59 Corvette convertible. So it'll be, it's going to be delivered to our client tomorrow. But I thought before we take it off the hoist, I thought we would share with you the undercarriage of this Corvette and the amount of work that was done underneath, because you often don't get a chance to see underneath one of these rare classic Corvettes. So starting at the back, it's got the nice bumpers, and this is a really nice feature here. I think the camera can pick it up. So it has a true dual exhaust, and it's all brand new. So this dual exhaust, you see the tailpipe comes through, a really neat feature in the exhaust pipe. And same thing on this side. I think the camera can pick it up, where you've got the tailpipe here too. So it's got the dual tailpipe. So as we come closer, and I'll get my fat head out of the way, as we start coming underneath the undercarriage, a lot of people, when they do a restoration or a repair on a classic Corvette, a lot of people like to see the bottom of the fiberglass like spare tire panel. They like to see it the fiberglass color. It's generally a white or an off-white gel coat. But in the last, I'd say 10 years or so, people prefer to have this, which is a blacked out look. And then you can do some touch-ups, because this is going to be a driver. The client's going to enjoy this car and drive it. So I would assume after he takes delivery of this vehicle and he's driving it for the season, as most of our clients, they bring them in once a year for a tune-up, preventative maintenance, and so on. So that gives us an opportunity to spray a little bit of black touch-up or protection wherever needed underneath from some stone chips or road debris after a time of driving. So you can see the rear diff. It's all been degreased and cleaned, and it's been tidied up and painted. The fluid drain was seized, so we were able to free that up, and we put some anti-seize on it so we can check it and drain it. So the rear axle or differential was all cleaned up and fresh fluid put in. You can see the exhaust system. I pointed at the tips, but as you come underneath from the sides of the spare tire indentation, you can see it's a complete new exhaust system and new hangers. So you come up both the driver and passenger side. These are factory correct resonators, and then they come to these extension pipes and go up towards the front and meet as they should. So it's period correct and looks very authentic for a 59 Corvette. The shocks have been replaced and are in really nice shape. The parking brake cables were not working. The pivots were seized and they weren't adjusted properly, so that has been redone. Then as you come a little bit closer this way, you'll see the structure of this 59 Corvette has the nice X frame, and it's in really clean, nice shape. There's no corrosion. There's no weak points. All of the body mounts between the fiberglass body and the X frame are in really nice shape. And then as we come down this way a little bit further, you'll see as the new exhaust is coming down, you can see how clean the engine area is, and it's been freshened up and painted. So we have the 4-speed factory correct manual transmission. Made sure that there was no concerns in terms of leaking. So there's, other than a tiny bit of seepage, it's in very nice shape. The transmission mounts are in really nice condition, and there's no separation. The speedometer cable is lubricated and works as it should. One of the other important things when we're doing the preventative maintenance on this car is we wanted to check the fluid of the transmission and also the level. And there's a drain on this side. This drain plug was seized, and it was quite a chore to get that opened up. We used a suction device to remove the fluid, and then that was we put some anti-seize product on when we put the drain plug back in, and then fresh 90 weight fluid. Same thing as we come a little bit more forward towards the car. It has the traditional style oil filter inside a canister, and so it has a new filter inside and a fresh oil change, and the oil drain plug has been cleaned up in a new gasket. All the wiring and so on was tidied up underneath. When we come down the side rail, so we're down the passenger side rail here, you can see they're very recent brake lines, and it's the nickel copper. coming right from front to back, and it all is laying correctly and using the factory correct clips. Now if we can move to the other side, so now we're going to move to the outside of the passenger frame rail. This is something that we did today, because in a previous video where we did a walk around of the vehicle and showed that we updated the carburetor, a 4-barrel quick fuel carb. Traditionally in 59, this car would have a small glass fuel filter with a small little paper filter inside that's see-through. There's not a lot of room there and a lot of heat in that area. So one of our guys decided the best thing to do would be to put a better fuel filter. So we have a metal filter in here. We've made this bracket. We drilled a hole through it and used nice hardware. And then we basically, this fuel line has been replaced previously and is in very good shape. So we're able to tap into that, add fittings, and then rather than using just the cheap gear clamps, we prefer to use these upgraded fuel clamps, which technically they're for fuel injection, but they're a better seal, a little bit stronger. So it looks like it's factory correct, but it's not. And then in terms of preventative maintenance, because we're not sure how long this 59 Corvette was sitting idle, we drained the tank and put fresh fuel in, but we were always concerned about sediment in the tank, and having a new carburetor and the engine freshly tuned, we wanted to ensure that we have trouble-free driving, so we just added this fuel filter as an extra safeguard for enjoying the car. So as we come all the way to the front, so now we're at the front wheels, steering, and suspension. So I'm under the oil pan now, and then you can see we have new wires for the spark plugs. There's a new aftermarket fuel pump, and you can probably see the new belt. The belt was worn and loose, so we've properly adjusted that and put a new belt on. In terms of the steering, the knuckles, the idler arm, things like that, they were all within safety specifications. But then when you get into the tie rods and kingpins and so on, which I'll share with you, they were quite worn. So this looks quite neat and tidy underneath. And once again, this is a really clean driver quality 59 Corvette. So as we come closer towards the front, you'll see quite a bit of what we've done here. So one thing we were really impressed with, it had the original upper and lower control arms. And the older style control arms are threaded on both ends. So we're assuming they're the original. They were quite worn and needed to be replaced. There's too much movement or play. So you can see the new, it comes in a kit form. So you can see we have grease fittings on either end, and these are a factory correct replacement lower control arm. So we have that, and then up above we've got the newer control arms up above. And then if I come around this side, very common is the kingpin design. So this is before ball joints. So we checked all the tie rods and the connectors and the fittings. And then when you get into this area here, so basically one of our guys, Ryan, removed the spindle and the front suspension and opened everything up. So we can see, if you follow my pen here as a pointer, the upper control arm, this is all new, the bushings and so on the upper spindle. And then the kingpins, the bushings and so on, this is all new because they were quite worn and they appear to be original as 59. You also notice the new brake flex line. The brakes were adjusted and bled, and new wheel cylinders. And you can see once again we've got nice new grease fitting here. So basically everything that's moving in terms of suspension and steering is to safety standards and also factory correct in terms of appearance. We come over to the driver's side, same idea. So we have some new hardware here. We have the new grease fittings, and you can see once again that we have new brake flex line, and then we have the new kingpins and so on, and they're all greasable and they're all greased properly. So these are components that are a normal wearable item, and typically they seize and just get out of spec, which makes it a floppy steering. So being a 59 Corvette, with all of these enhancements, it's going to help with the comfort of the steering and the handling and also the suspension. And the final thing I'd like to point out, if you come a little bit further towards the front, and we'll kind of turn around, I think, from the front of the lower bumper facing back, and you see we have the new stabilizer bar bushing kit. So we've got the new stabilizer bar and then the bushings and the hardware for upper and lower. So this will control or help control the handling of the front in cornering situations. So these are all new, and then once again same thing with the lower control arm. So I just wanted to share with you the undercarriage of a nice 59 Corvette. You always see the cars up above and they're all nice shiny paint and you kind of ooh and ah, but I'm always curious, what do they look like underneath? What did the people do when they freshen the car up? How safe is it and how enjoyable is it going to be? So this is a beautiful, clean, very safe 59 Corvette chassis, and I just wanted to share that with you. So I'm John, and thank you for watching. I invite you to visit our website. It's lastchanceautorestore.com.